Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR Heat 5 career mode here on the channel. I hope you're all having a great day as we head into Watkins Glen, the second race of the round of 8, where we saw nobody in the round of 8 win the round opener from Darlington, leaving still 4 spots up for grabs here on points. Ryan Blaney, Zilich, Elliott, and Reddick all come in on the outside of the grid, with Elliott and Reddick 27 points back and over 30 points back for Tyler Reddick, as Carson Hocevar continues to impress. As myself, I just survived in Darlington and clawed my way through an up and down race, and we managed to get a respectable finish and continue to keep our gap at a comfortable spot going into this race here from Watkins Glen, where we have a great track record at and expect to be fighting for the win as we start our qualifying lap here with our next level racing on board. Use code GOIN25 as I always mention, using of course my referral link in the description on Next Level products. If you're in the United States, you get a 5% discount. Now, as we were in a bit of controversy, of course, in Darlington against Hendrick Motorsports, and Rick Hendrick and Jeff Gordon both actually spoke out about what happened on the track between myself and their two drivers of Kyle Larson and Rajan Carruth. Jeff Gordon claiming, well, just simply disappointing to see from Owen, especially this far into my developed career at this point. And Rick Hendrick saying he's not going to let me damage his cars on the racetrack. And it's important to note that we, of course, assist Junior Motorsports with a significant alliance as well. I myself, I'm going to continue to focus forward. Of course, Gordon and Hendrick both not happy, but we back it up immediately, putting ourselves P5 here in Watkins Glen, saying, hey, we're still here to fight, and I'm here to put myself in the Final Four today. That's my goal. But on pole, it's Hendrick Motorsports. It's Chase Elliott with Connor Zilich, two drivers, double-digit numbers below the cut line on the front row. As last episode winner from Darlington, William Byron P4, Kyle Larson P6, Reddick, Chastain, Kyle Busch, Christopher Bell, the rest of the top 10. SVG there from Charlotte, his Charlotte win, P11. As you see, Jack Hawksworth, he's in the 67 this weekend, as you see the rest of the field here through the order down to Nick Sanchez all the way at the bottom. Austin Hill, Ryan Vargas as well in the field this weekend. We had only the Amazon Prime Series in the weekend joining us, and Chase Purdy picks up the win. And of course, this is the second race of the round of 8 as well for the Amazon Prime Series. Purdy has swept both races, putting himself in the Final Four. As you see the rest of the finishing order, Denny Hamlin with some work to do, Gio Ruggiero with the most work to do. But let's take a look at the playoff grid for the Prime Series following 2 races of the round of 8. Perez, 32 points above the cut line, Suarez 26, and then it gets super tight. Allgaier, the last one in, tied actually with Ryan Truex. Then John Hunter Nemechek 3 points out, Hamlin 8 points out, Gio Ruggiero 29 points out going into Martinsville elimination next episode. Let's head cup racing from the Glen.
The middle race of the round of 8 takes on Watkins Glen as Chase Elliott seeks his second win of the season from pole today, which would save his season as he comes in well below the cut line.
It's full offense today from the 9th team and everyone else for that matter. We're really going to see the points move around today, and I think in favor of that 9th car.
This is always such a fun race for me. I've always loved, of course, racing from Watkins Glen. It's such a great racetrack, such a great road course, one of the best road courses by far on the NASCAR schedule here, as we are ready to go green starting P5, which means we're on the left side of the track. Pole always, for whatever reason, takes the left here in NASCAR Heat 5. Green flag is out. Chase Elliott, Connor Zilich, 2 drivers deep behind the cut line. Start on the front row into turn 1. William Byron going to make it 3 wide with Zilich right off the bat, 3 wide for the lead. After turn 1, Elliott gets clear. Byron through into P2. Zilich drops down to P3. I've got a roadblock between Chris Buescher as well as Kyle Larson. Chastain to my right side. That's short-lived. We clear the 1 car in that Kubota Honda Civic. Of course, he's headed to 2311 next season, as we'll push the 17 down the straightaway to clear the 5 of Kyle Larson. Back into P5 where we started. Zilich drops the 3rd. Elliott driving away right off the bat. As that give it a bit of a shot to the back of the 17. Not what I was intending to do. He slides into the carousel. He keeps it under control, fortunately, now as we continue to just kind of stay put behind these guys and kick things off here from the Glen. 6 laps in stage 1, meaning we will not have to make a pit stop, and immediately last week winner from Darlington, William Byron, looking off the pace. Now he is backing everybody up, and now Zilich under pressure from Busher in that Fastenal Ford Mustang. He was so close to winning in Charlotte Roval a few races back until that tire failure. He had SVG and Zilich covered, but now on the exit of the final turn, instead of what looked like Busher passing Zilich, well, he gets held off and then gets passed by myself into turn 1. Look at this, Zilich right to the back of the 24, and you can tell Byron is struggling for pace, which is perfect for myself because it's allowing me to now put some pressure on this Carolina Carports 00 Trackhouse machine and likely to be future teammate Connor Zilich. Of course, we're just waiting on some confirmation that Connor Zilich is going to be coming to Junior Motorsports next season, as actually give him a bit of a shot to the back bumper as well as we head into the carousel. This is where we're looking to make the move on the exit now. Here's a big run down the short straightaway now. Byron continuing to struggle, but drivers struggling to pass him. We'll get a 2-for-1 special. Busher's going to come through as well. We pass both the 24 and the 00. Busher's going to go the long way around in the final turn. He should be able to get ahead, but William Byron not making things easy and really just kind of playing the team game, trying to help out Chase Elliott, who has to make up over 20 points to get into the final 4. It's going to be unlikely, but it's certainly not impossible with the way things are looking early on in this race. Busher would eventually get through on the 24 to move himself up to 3rd. However, Connor Zilich is still struggling to pass the 24. Zilich, of course, always a favorite at these road courses. Now, a rough start to the round of 8, just like Chase Elliott puts them both in a rough spot, but now with 2 to go in the stage, Busher keeping me very honest there, filling up my rear view mirror, so not letting me run away from him, and I'm not really making a whole lot of headway into the gap on the 9 car, but obviously at this point way too far back to even run him down before the stage is over. So at this point it's just about, okay, let's make sure we just hold off the 17. We'll be content at that. We'll take P2. We're doing everything we've needed to be doing this entire playoffs, and that's just get through these races and make sure we advance through these rounds, and we're doing exactly that again here in the round of 8. We are executing all playoff long. We've now got 5 wins on the season, matching a career high for myself. I would love to get win number 6 right here to hit a career high as we continue towards the final couple of corners on this final lap here on the stage. And Chase Elliott, stage 1 unmatched. It certainly helped that he had his teammate hold up everybody for the first 3 laps of the stage. Elliott takes stage 1. We head down the front straightaway. Several seconds later, we'll take P2 over Busher in 3rd. Look at this. Byron still holding up drivers. He's still going to manage a top 5. P4 for Byron and Zilich, Reddick, followed by Chastain, Larson, and others. And you see Reddick, of course, needs points. He's below the cut line. Bell, P9, Bowman, P10. They are both in the final 4, but they get beat crucially by drivers below the cut line. Hocevar as well, outside of the top 10 there in P12. That's not what you want to see. Ryan Blaney, the only driver below the cut line that didn't get a top 10 there in stage 1. So things just not going Ryan Blaney's way here in this round of 8 so far, as we get ready to go green for stage 2, where we lose 2 spots in the pits, but that actually helps us because now we're to the right side of the track. So we found out immediately what the game is for Hendrick Motorsports now. Try to keep those fast cars back from Chase Elliott now, but he is under direct pressure into turn 1 to kick off stage 2. Busher up the inside. I'm going to give a shot to the back of him, trying to push him forward. We clear the 24. I give Busher a bit of a chance to fight this 9 into the S's up the elevation. Busher, is he clear? Yes, he is. Chris Busher to the lead here from Watkins Glen, non-playoff driver, and we're going to take advantage of the 9 as well. We go through on that number 9. Honestly, I don't know if Hendrick's going to be a big fan of that. I just pushed a Ford past a Hendrick car just after both Rick Hendrick and Jeff Gordon voiced their displeasure before this weekend's race now, and suddenly we have propelled ourselves into the conversation to be mixing it up for this win. If we can get past the 17, we know we're faster than Chris Busher, so I'm not really forcing the issue. We're in front of the 9, who's got, of course, a great car, but I believe the fastest car here is none of the drivers currently in the top 3. It's actually what appeared to be the 45 of Tyler Reddick now is actually Elliott's going to pounce on me right there with the last corner coming through. We'll get clear again of the 9, but he certainly made an effort to get clear going into that final turn. But now we retake P2, lap 1 complete, only 6 laps here in stage 2 as well, meaning a very quick stage, and as well no pit stops necessary once again here now as we continue to focus in on the back of the 17, actually really overdriving that bus stop chicane on the back straightaway, but fortunately we're able to keep the car on the racetrack and still within striking distance of that Fastenal Ford Mustang. Now Chris Buescher doing everything he needs to be doing. Of course, he is having a completely winless season. It's just not been the season he's been looking for. We have kind of seen a decline from Chris Buescher, but not only Chris Buescher, but from RFK as a whole. You know, season to season, it feels like they've progressively gotten worse throughout this career mode, kind of like Trackhouse. So both those teams, of course, looking for a rebound. I think the rebound for RFK is a lot likelier than Trackhouse, who seems to be in complete shambles. They lost Hocevar, who they were supposed to be getting next season. It looks like they're losing a potential superstar in Connor Zilic. They know they're losing Chastain, they're losing Kyle Busch, and they're losing Shane Van Gisbergen. Busch and SVG, of course, because of retirement. It's a complete new lineup at Trackhouse next season, and they could be downsizing as well from 4 cars to 3 is another new rumor that has entered the garage in recent times. So definitely a charter could potentially be opening up for maybe a new team to the grid or another team to expand further. Now is finally coming to 2 to go in stage 2. We're going to make the move on this Fastenal Ford Mustang. In the background, P4, Tyler Reddick has gotten clear of the 24, the 00, and he, I can confirm, as we take the lead, I can confirm the 45 was running the fastest lap times on the track. He was closing in on all of us here, and even when I got out to the lead, coming to the final lap of the stage, out in clean air, nobody to battle, the 45 is closing in. He is now 2.7 seconds back. He is making serious time, but his challenge is he's got to make passes, and that's the advantage that we have. I'm definitely, no one is as fast as the 45, but for me, we have clean air, we got cars in between us and that 45. It's really going to be crucial for Reddick to get a good restart, because he's got to be thinking a must-win type scenario going into stage 3 here, not knowing what could come from Martinsville in the elimination race in the next episode. Out of the final turn on the final lap, however, it's going to be P1 for us here down the front straightaway. We're doing everything we need to get ourselves punched into the final 4. Reddick ran down the 9 and the 17 at the end of the stage right there. Larson's going to round out the top 5. Byron still holding up. Drivers Zilic, Bowman, Bell all right behind. You see Hocevar come through as well for still P12. No stage points, and that's crucial for Carson Hocevar, as we'll take tires, we'll take fuel, we'll get a live playoff update here in just a moment when we start stage 3 to see what the picture is starting to look like, because Chase Elliott's made up some serious points, but guys that are in the final 4 currently also scoring points, like Bowman, Bell, myself as well. As we pit, we of course remain in the lead after a 4-tire pit stop and fuel. We will be in command to start stage 3. We're underway, green flag is out. It's been a clean race here from Watkins Glen, and there's the updated playoff grid following stage 2. We are a very large margin ahead of the cut line, 50 points now as we go wide on the exit of turn 1, right there on the door of the 17, but Chase Elliott has cut his gap in half basically. He is now 13 points below the cut line, and now only the first driver out. Ryan Blaney 15 points below on a struggling day. He's going to continue to lose points to that cut line. Connor Zilic has cut his gap to 19 points back. Reddick 28 points back still. Tyler Reddick, after the engine issues and the second unscheduled pit stop he had to make in Darlington, is in a hole, and he's the fastest car here. He has to win this race, or of course Martinsville, but he's got the fastest car of anybody today. Of course, he's looking to win right here from Watkins Glen. I'm hoping Tyler Reddick and them battle it out, because I don't want to go up against Tyler Reddick in the final 4. I mean, obviously I don't want to go up against anybody in the final 4, but we are in position to put ourselves into that final 4 right now for the second consecutive season in our Cup Series career, of course coming up short last season to our at the time teammate Christopher Bell. Reddick up to P3. And hold on, now Chase Elliott's actually got him back on the run into turn number 1. They are continuing to scrap it out right here. Now Buescher as well is still P2. They're going to fight it out here as we head up through the S's now on this 20th lap now. Now what can Elliott do with that 45? He is not going to make it easy, of course, as we head down this long back straightaway towards the S's now. Busher, of course, settling in to P2. He would love to rejoin victory lane finally, but here we have now Reddick under pressure from Connor Zilic, and I told you guys, these guys are not going easy on this 45. A few moments later, he gets clear through the carousel and gains a spot back, but Reddick is struggling in traffic. That is just not making things easy for the 45 as we continue just in our own race, looking really good right now in this number 8 target machine. So just for me specifically, hoping this stays green. You never know with the cautions at these road courses, it always really can open the door of just, you know, things to go wrong for us. It always feels like we struggle with strategy with late race yellows at road courses, but today it's been a super clean race, so I'm just hoping that things play out. I actually showed the Reddick and Elliott battle a lap early in the edit, so forgive me there, but it still, of course, stands of what happened now as we continue towards the end of lap 21 and just managing the gap to the 17 of Chris Buescher. This has been a very, like I said, clean race, so it's nice to just get some laps to kind of hit our marks and get into a rhythm. We've got about a second gap on the 17 of Chris Buescher. Tyler Reddick still trying to fight his way forward. Once he got clear of that 00, he would of course get back into the mix with Chase Elliott, and you can see now he's about a second behind that 9 car, so he's still got some time to make up. But I mean, things are looking great for us right now, not so great for the 45 here. 12 laps to go in the stage, and of course we are within the pit window when you have about 11 to 12 laps to go, as we actually have a big slide on the exit there of the turn 1 curb. It kicked us out. Fortunately, we saved it, but that opens the door there for the 17 to get a little bit closer now within 7/8 of a second. Spin in the back, that's turn 1. Sammy Smith has gone around. No yellow, we stay green, we continue on. Thank goodness it's a road course, of course, any oval, that's a yellow, as we are approaching now 10 laps to go at this point, and hoping that we keep it green. Please, NASCAR, keep it green here in these closing laps. I mean, we have managed this race so well since we've took the lead in stage 2 against that 17. Reddick has run down again Chase Elliott and Buescher, and they were all over each other in the background now. Chris Buescher now actually getting passed by the 9 of Elliott, but Reddick can't get past the 17 of Buescher. And as you see there, Kyle Larson's actually now fighting with the 45. I mean, it's been Reddick versus at times the 9, now the 5, the 24. It's Hendrick Motorsports going super hard on that 45, knowing what's at stake. The 24 and the 5, they've got nothing to lose. They are in the playoffs. It's Chase Elliott. He's the only representation that Hendrick Motorsports has. Of course, they're going to go hard on the 45, and Larson would clear Reddick and actually open up the gap a little bit to him. So Reddick, the fastest car, drops down to P5, just struggling to make passes and just under full-blown attack from other drivers. We are now in the field window, but of course, when do you want to pit? That's of course kind of up in the air, and I was kind of waiting for about, you know, second place to kind of bite, which is the 9, of course, of Chase Elliott, just waiting to see, well, when are they going to pit, and then of course we can kind of attack from there. So just waiting things out, but obviously we don't want to stay out too long, get caught out by a caution after others have pit, and then we lose 10-15 positions, because of course it's race over for us at that point. We're here to win this race once again. I mean, how many times have we won Watkins Glen in our career? I think 3, 2 or 3 at least. I mean, we're looking for the 4th one. Caution out with 7 to go, and it's Ryan Vargas with a blown engine in that 3 Friends Racing Cadillac that brings out the yellow, forcing everybody into the pit lane. And we are going to be taking 2 tires and 1 can of fuel. How about Jack Hawksworth up in the top 15 for 2311? Hocevar has broken into the top 10. Every point's so important, because with Chase Elliott running as good as he is, it is really going to make things interesting as we continue to lead after the pit stops. Now we'll get ready to go back racing. Chase Elliott's going to join us on the front row for what could be the final restart here from the Watkins Glen. 4 laps to go. Lap 31 of 34. Kyle Larson's in line with the 9 as we go head-to-head into turn 1. Chase Elliott had the nose on us, has about half a car length on us now, but we fight back. We're going to be dead even as we head into the S's and up the elevation, and we try to pinch that 9 towards the right side. inside curb. Here comes Kyle Larson, still seeking win number 1 on the season. Can we clear the 9 in that Napa Auto Parts black and gold Cadillac down the back straight? Yes, we do. We have the run. And now we continue out front, and now the goal is to just maintain this gap. We know the 9 car is fast. He's not 45 car fast, but he's fast enough to probably hang with us here, even though we open up the gap to a good 3-4 car lengths right there. But Elliott tries to roll back up a little bit closer, and I'm doing everything I can to keep Chase Elliott out of victory lane here today for 2 reasons. Of course, I don't want to fight him in the Final 4, but if he wins, that makes the likelihood of my teammate Carson Hocevar making the Final 4 way less, and we want Elliott to go into Martinsville below the cut line. He fights back now. He tries to switch back, looking to my right rear, but we get the run off the corner. Elliott can't quite maintain. Busher back to 3rd over Larson. Reddick still P5 with 3 laps to go. Hope is lost for Tyler Reddick in terms of winning this race. Now he needs to hope for Martinsville being the track that he can maybe go and pick up a win now as we come through the bus stop now with just a couple more trips through this section of the course. In the first half of the track, really through the S's down through the bus stop, that's where we're opening up the gap to the 9. Things kind of stabilize right here, and then once we get to these final 2 corners, that 9 car is just a lot better than I am right now, so it's crucial we maintain this lead through these couple of corners now. Here he goes, Elliott again within a car length, way wide, and actually I go with a really horrible entrance, and that opens the door for the 9. Can't quite capitalize there. He had a run, but he went too wide out of the corner and had to lift, otherwise he would have ran into me. With 2 laps to go, we take a little bit more of a defensive approach into turn 1. Keeping that 9 car in our rear view mirror is at the utmost importance. Again, a slide off the turn 1 curb like we had a little bit earlier in the stage, and now we've been all just broken my own ankles through the S's, opening the door for the 9, but we still maintain P1. It's gonna be a 2-lap shootout between myself and the 9, with the 17 of Busher lurking in the background as well, ready to pounce in case we get after it now as we approach this final lap of racing. And again, opening up the gap through the bus stop into the carousel, but into this penultimate corner. Look at the 9. He gains so much ground. He can roll through there so much better than I can. He's right to my back bumper, but we defend well through the final turn. Down the front straightaway, white flag is waving again. Elliott gets a run. What's he gonna do into turn 1? Do we go defensive now as we start the final lap here from Watkins Glen? We take our normal turn 1 approach. Elliott shows the nose, can't quite do anything now. We just have to hang on through that part. We know he's dangerous. That's the last 2 corners now as we come through the S's. It's Busher, Larson, Reddick behind the 9 of Elliott to fill out the rest of the top 5. Where's Hocevar? We know every important point is on the line right now for him. Bell, Bowman as well. For us, we're looking at a ticket into the Final 4 if we can hold on for another 45 seconds or so through the bus stop chicane for the final time. We keep that gap about the same it's been for the last 3 laps on that 9 of Chase Elliott through the carousel, a little bit wide. That's no big deal. As we exit the corner, we've got 1 series of corners to hang on. Chase Elliott 0.3 of a second behind. Does he have anything left in the tank? 1 series of corners to the left now, and he is there within a couple of car lengths now. He's looking. He shows the nose. We cut him off into the final turn. It's Owen versus Hendrick again. Elliott gets to run off this time. He carries the momentum to the right. He's looking. It's not enough. We're going to get into the Final 4 with a win in Watkins Glen, a track that's treated us so well our entire career, and now we use it to advance into the Final 4 for the 2nd season in a row. The first driver of the round of 8 that's confirmed in. What a race here from Watkins Glen, and win number 6 on the season, a career high. Some doubted us. Why did we go from Joe Gibbs Racing to Junior Motorsports after such a successful season? And of course, Junior Motorsports was coming off a frustrating season, and I mean, look what it's turned into. 6 wins for myself, 2 for Hocevar, 8 wins total. It's been an unbelievable journey, as we'll take a look at the playoff grid momentarily, but of course you see the finishing order. Hocevar rebounded to P7, while Bell dropped down to P11. Chase Elliott had such a strong race, however. He scored so many points that he is going to be very realistically a threat now to point his way into the Final 4. And we're going to take a look at the playoff grid now following the second race of the round of 8, and Chase Elliott is very much a danger going into Martinsville. He is 7 points back from Alex Bowman. Look at this. We are locked in, but Bell, Bowman, and Hocevar, all three of them above the cut line, but they're all right there together. 8 points for Bell and Hocevar. They're tied. Bowman 7 points above. Elliott 7 back. Zilich and Reddick, Blaney, all realistically probably going to have to win. So, realistically, it's going to come down between Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, Carson Hocevar, and Christopher Bell. One of those four will not be moving on to fight for a championship. 3 of them will. Who is it going to be on the outside looking in following Martinsville? I'm going to be doing everything I can to help my teammate of Carson Hocevar, but we know Chase Elliott for sure is going to be very strong at the paperclip, as he always is. It is going to be a nail-biting elimination race at Martinsville to determine the final 4. I'll see you guys in the next one. We go into that race stress-free. Thank you for watching. Have yourselves a great day.